Hej, Sofie. Fornøjelse. Tusind tak. Jeg har glædet mig.
Jamen, velkommen til, Ole Henriksen, og tak fordi du vil være med i vores interview.
Sofie, det er en fornøjelse for mig at sidde her med dig, en smuk dansk kvinde, og skal tale om innovation.
Ja, og iværksætteri også, fordi det er jo en rigtig spændende historie med en meget lokalt baseret iværksætter, der ligesom bliver global på et tidspunkt. Og det jeg godt kunne tænke mig at starte med, det var jo selvfølgelig, hvad der motiverede dig til at være iværksætter.
Og Sofie, jeg håber ikke, du har noget imod, at jeg taler på engelsk, fordi som du siger, global iværksætter har ikke betydet for mig, at jeg kan bedre tale forretningsmæssigt på engelsk.
Ja, men det er helt i orden, så
spørger
jeg også på engelsk.
So, it's amazing, isn't it, in life, how you can be up against obstacles, and needless to say, you look for solutions. In my case, my obstacle became cystic acne. I was a show dancer residing in Jakarta, Indonesia. My skin flared up with acne, and I began receiving treatments by a brilliant esthetician in Jakarta. And I was so impressed by the results that I thought, I can't go on kicking my legs high forever. What about a career in skincare? And I, of course, obviously got a little help there. A lady from London who I happened to have met in Jakarta, who was in the business.
Oh, so she was in the care product business.
She was indeed.
Yeah.
She worked for Max Factor
Yeah.
in London, and she said, Ole, I will gladly introduce you to what I view as the best school in London, Christine Shaw College. And
so you've got training in healthcare and care products.
Exactly. So actually, what it was, Sophia, the school was focused on, of course, not unlike going to gymnasium or university, courses in cosmetic chemistry, theatrical makeup, face and body work, really everything associated with the wellness arena.
Yeah.
And I must tell you, from the get-go, I was in love with the profession.
Yeah.
I think what enticed me was it was a business focused on helping people look and feel their best. So not just applying a product, but rather, again, getting to know those people that you treated. I mean, you build relationships in this business. If someone has eruption problems, there may be underlying causes, lifestyle related, self-image related, stress or whatever. So that was what really spoke to me.
So you could already see there that it wasn't maybe theater makeup you were into, but more the spa treatments and the care.
Good point, because indeed I was not about covering it up. I was about dealing with indeed the facts of what the skin showed. And what happened was, after graduation, I was actually the only male student among all these fabulous girls. Exactly. That was, I'm telling you, it was a blast. I really loved it. And when I graduated, I worked briefly in London, and then I ventured all the way to Los Angeles.
Yeah. So in London, did you work for a care company or a cosmetics company, or what did you work for?
I actually worked for Helene Rubenstein,
Yeah.
and I was what you can call a territorial manager, traveling from store to store, going in, giving skincare consultations, doing makeup. So they would station me, let's say, 1 week at Selfridges on Oxford Street, expect upon my arrival as an expert to increase sales. I mean, it was definitely not alone lending my expertise, but what mattered was, if I'm there as a special visitor, if you will, they expected those numbers to go up. And of course, that was a wonderful challenge.
But you could take that knowledge with you when you moved to LA then?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. And when I moved to LA, Sophia, I found, to my great surprise, no one wanted to hire me as a man.
Oh, to do the same as you done in London.
Exactly. I mean, especially in the hands-on service part. And really what I was dying to do was to treat skin, not necessarily work in a store. I wanted to be there, you know, obviously part of the process of helping people achieve great skin if they had issues with their complexions. So no one wanted to hire me. And what do?
Yeah,
you
exactly.
start your own.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, everything takes money. However, it is amazing when you're a bit enterprising, a bit creative, how much you can do on a shoestring budget.
Yeah, because I was about to ask you that. So how do you get funding? Did you use your network, or how did you fund the startup of your treatment?
Initially, what I did was I had a partner that did the behind the scenes of the daily bookkeeping, money management.
Okay, yeah.
I did the creative.
Yeah.
We struck up.
So was he or she hired, or was it a friend, or was it?
It was actually a neighbor in the building I moved into. That's another thing. It's amazing how you can be at a public area, in this case the pool, but in the building where we lived. This fellow Mo and I fell in conversation.
Yeah.
He was a CPA, had just moved to LA. We liked each other, we trusted each other, and we struck up this partnership. Many years later, I brought him out of the company.
Yeah.
But I'm so grateful that he, in many ways, became a mentor as far as money management. However, the beauty of our relationship was he left me to do what I was best at, the creative, creating products.
Yeah.
I made my product in my own kitchen.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you a little bit about your products, because how did you start up with creating the Ole Henriksen creams that we know and the lotions? How did you start that?
They started in my own kitchen, Sophia, and I would make them in Tupperware containers and bring them to work. And in those days, actually what was so fascinating about it was completely unique. No one had ever done that in Hollywood. I began building a huge following because people saw results with my treatments. Stars like Barbra Streisand, who became my first superstar client, came in, and as such, suddenly the media caught note of me and said, wow, here's a man who is into a holistic approach. He's incorporating nutrition, he's incorporating kitchen formulations, and he's all about also science with the equipment, and yet Mother Nature. We want to write about him. So what I do believe is, when you start a career, hopefully you're passionate about it, and then things evolve. As the opportunities present themselves, you must grab them and you must jump ahead so that you can't just rest on your laurels. And when you are passionate, you don't want to rest on your laurels. So you always think, okay, what can I do next? I began doing a lot of TV shows. So it was really before Oprah. So really those TV shows brought the attention of Macmillan. And they were the ones that, hey, can you do a book? And for me, being able to share my expertise with a broader audience was, of course, a joy. And then, when I have always, by the way, been very good with money. So what's key is, from a young age, I was milk delivery boy in my village in Nibe. I kept books of, what I could save, what I could spend on books for myself, gifts for the family. So I always had that business sense. So I saved money, and the book, of course, did fantastically well. So indeed, I used that capital to start developing products.
So you could say, as an entrepreneur, you actually started the other way around. You started with the promotion before you actually had the product.
I did.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think often what happens in our businesses, being it a fashion designer, or it may be a hairdresser that decides to do a hair care brand, that you start with that side, the service side, and then it evolves into the product division.
But if we keep a focus on the product as such, and you talk about innovation, what was the innovative part in your products? What makes it so different from, let's say, another care product? Is it because it's the holistic idea, or is it the organic idea? And what is it that makes your lotions,
the products, different?
Yeah.
There's certainly a lot of things that come into the equation, because what matters for me as a formulator is, and they are my little babies, I create them all from scratch, it is that they carry the DNA of my philosophy. For instance, spa is about the aromatic experience. It's about that beautiful aroma that relaxes you or has an uplifting impact. So when I create, I want women and men, when they use the products, when they open a jar, to be nice, to just take in that aroma. Spa is about touch. It's about the slip across the skin. So the textural experience matters. so that these products must feel luxurious, indulgent, and will bind with the skin, absorb into the skin.
So do you use new and innovative formulas, or is it based on old knowledge that you rearrange?
That's a very good question.
In the Tupperware.
No, you are Oprah. You're very good. I got to tell you, Sophia, because no, indeed, what it is that I combine the best of nature and science. So what the beauty is that you can take your essential fatty acids, your sesame, avocado, wheat germ, borage seed oil, or you may take the antioxidants, or you may take peptides, amino acid compounds that firms and tightens the skin, and put a twist of science into that. And by that I mean that you may have a more effectual delivery system.
Yeah, exactly.
You may work with the molecular structure that enables the absorbency to be more effectual. And so I'm very much into science, and the beauty of it is that when you do it, you want to make sure that the synergy of the ingredients and how they interact truly work to elevate your skin to an even higher level of perfection.
And then you mix it in a way that we haven't seen yet other companies do.
Exactly, because I think the beauty is that you can be Dior, you can be Clarins, you can be Estée Lauder, Lancôme, or you can be Ole Henriksen, and we all are actually given certain guidelines as far as the EU. EU has very strict guidelines as far as the ingredient and the percentages of what you use. But not unlike a chef that may be given the same ingredients, where one chef will turn it into an okay meal and another will elevate it to a level of gourmet, where you say, oh my God. So what I do is I bring it up to this level of the extraordinary, and I always invest in the proper concentrations. It takes me about 1.5 years to develop a product from beginning to end. It starts like the American phrase, a brain fart. I'm maybe in the shower. And you know what happens is suddenly an idea comes to me. It obviously has to fill a gap and a need that has not been filled by others. And then I start my research, and then I start with the factories and the laboratories. And of course, the process is a joyous one.